Welcome to D4L Radio. And here's your host, Commissioner O.
Welcome to D4L Radio. I appreciate y'all for tapping in. Today we're going to recap the seasons 4 through 6. We're talking bucket lists, Hall of Fame, and closing out the Madden 25 cycle the right way. Let's get straight to it. Season 4, man, this was a wild one. We kicked it off with some new blood. New Panthers user Dame came in trying to build something. I think he's found his place in this league. Season 4 was also when we were introduced to Vacation Boyce. He started off 0-4. I'm guessing everybody counted him out. Somehow, he still managed to sneak in the playoffs. Typical Boyce. Cell, that season, was back to his old ways. He showed back up like he never left. He ended Boyce's NFC reign that year. Kind of reminded everybody that when Cell locks in, he's a real problem. We also saw Savage finally wake up and take some control in the NFC. That man showed he wasn't just some flash in the pan. The Super Bowl ended up being the Raiders versus the Bears. Mays took that one. Raiders bringing home the trophy. Good season. New faces stepping up. Old faces still trying to hold on. That was pretty much season 4. Season 5 came in different. Savage, back to the dominant ways we hadn't seen since his Washington days. He was locked in and you felt it early. Pause. Vacation Boyce again? Or maybe the league just finally caught up to him. Either way, he wasn't the same. What's going on, Boyce? We took a big L. We lost Cell again. Moment of silence. Alright. It ain't D4L without him popping in and out, though. Let's be real. Meanwhile, the Texans pulled off one of the craziest wins we saw all year. Overtime thriller win over Mays and the Raiders in the playoffs. That was one of those had-to-be-there games. Super Bowl that year was the Texans versus the Bears, and Savage wasn't playing around. The Bears locked in, and Savage got himself a ring. Validation for the work he was already putting in. Rolling into the season 6, the final chapter of Madden 25. You could feel it. The burnout started creeping in. We've been at this for years. Nothing wrong with that. It happens. We know it. We picked up a new Rams user, Sandman. He brought some fresh energy towards the end. And I want to give a shout out to C-Mac, the new Browns user. He's been bringing in new talent left and right. And he's been getting paid for it too. So, shout out to you, C-Mac. In the Super Bowl, we had a rematch of the Raiders versus the Bears. Same matchup and same result. Mays wins again. And now we're going to get into the bucket list. We dropped the bucket list because effort matters. Simple as that. Here's how it's set up. Bucket 1, you played damn near all of your games, or all of them were accounted for at least. Every season, consistent. Didn't matter what your record was, you showed up and you kept the league moving. So those in bucket 1, that's Conk, Trey, Cap, Gene, Sheldon, Ant, Gerard, Lee, Leg, Dame, Mac, and C-Mac. Congratulations to y'all. Bucket 2. You pretty much played enough to stay active. You missed a few, but overall you did what you needed to do. In that bucket, it's Rick, Stu, Shad, Rip, and Sandman. Sandman, I understand you came in and you played all your games this year. However, to be fair, you've only played one season when everyone else had to make sure that they played the majority of 2 seasons. So that's what puts you in bucket 2. Bucket 3, let's keep it real. You barely showed up. You weren't active enough to get rewarded for it. Next Madden, do better. Also, with bucket 3, you forfeit all of your lottery balls. All right, and that list is Zaprine, Hector, Craig, Sleepy, Bug, Juice, Spaz, Neezy, and Deontay. Next Madden, we'll do the same thing. Everybody gets a fresh start. Now you know what it takes to make it to the buckets that you want to be in. That brings us to our final segment. That is the Hall of Fame finalists. Last pod, we did the semifinalists. We got that list down. And now we have the finalists. And these finalists were voted on by the Hall of Famers themselves. With that being said, the finalists are Boyce, multiple-time Super Bowl champ. Lee, Mr. Consistent, always showing up and competing at a high level. Gene, one of the most technical users in the league. Trash talker, but he backs it up most of the time. The final vote to see who joins the Hall of Famers is coming up. The next inductee to the Hall of Fame will be announced when Madden 26 drops, the first podcast of the year. So stay tuned for that. Before we get out of here, I just want to say D4L's been running strong for 11 years now. And that's crazy to even say out loud. I appreciate every single person who's been a part of this family, win, lose, whatever. It wouldn't be what it is without y'all. Madden 26 is coming. Bigger things are on the way. And you already know. Till next time, all games matter.